know this is the chosen one, and before we get started, my dad shipped them figures. I got them in. First one I got was Repo Man. He sent me. Seems like this one's gonna be pretty cool. So, and the Ric Flair one. Now, this is not the one that was in the Mr. Perfect thing, but this is one of the Ric Flair classics. I got a couple of them. That's one of them. Now, I got a request to do a video talking about the Invasion angle in 2001 when WCW was bought. I can remember watching WCW and WWE that night that McMahon bought it, and I was like, what? You gotta be kidding me, right? I cannot believe it. WCW has been purchased by WWE. I'm like, this could be the coolest angle ever if they use it. Well, WrestleMania comes. Vince McMahon and Shane McMahon have their match. A couple of WCW stars in attendance. You go to Backlash. You keep going on there. You don't see much of, you don't hear much about WCW, and then all of a sudden, bam! The same arena that Vince McMahon was standing in that he bought WCW when he was announced that he bought it was the same arena they hosted in July in WWE Invasion 2001. And I thought that match was okay. I thought the pay-per-view was okay. I thought one of the best matches on the pay-per-view was Jeff Hardy versus Rob Van Dam. I thought that match was awesome. I thought this was going to be fresh. There's going to be a lot of new talent. And you're going to get to see them new talent in the ring, because you're always happy to see new established talent in the ring with, you know, in a different company. But as the angle grew on and grew on, it kind of got stale. But some of the, I mean, my favorite points in the whole thing were, it was WCW and then they brought ECW, which I thought was, that's alright, okay. The ECW should have been brought in, but then you have SummerSlam, The Rock, Booker T. That was a good match. Angle, Austin, good match. Rob Van Dam, Jeff Hardy, ladder match. Awesome for the hardcore title. Awesome. You know, but, and then Lance Storm beat, I think it was, or Edge beat Lance Storm to become Intercontinental Champion at SummerSlam. Awesome. If I could be serious for a minute. I used to love that part when he'd come out. But then you start having all these WWE guys defect to the Alliance. I know you can have some defections, you know, but just really, I really didn't like when they started doing that. Now, Christian was okay when he went to the WCW thing, and that was alright. And then bringing all the titles in, that kind of made it a little bit more down, in my opinion. That by the time you got to Survivor Series, you was waiting so bad to see what was going to happen. And I was glad the way they did it at the end with the winner takes all at Survivor Series. I thought that was good. But, and I was glad. The next night on Raw, two good things happened the night after Survivor Series 2001 on Raw, was when Jerry the King Lawler came back. Thank God. Paul Heyman was stinking up the commentary booth. I could not, my ears were bleeding. He's just awful to me on there. I couldn't stand him. He was so obnoxious, and it just, sometimes he was good, and then sometimes he was just, it was piss poor. But I was glad to see Jerry Lawler back. And then at the end of the night, you finally got a little bit of that WWE shock when Ric Flair showed up. It was awesome. That was probably between July and November that year. There were a lot of good things that happened, and the whole time Triple H was out, so he didn't really get no. He didn't really get no side, so that was kind of sad. I was kind of wanting to see where Triple H would have wound up, you know. But leading up to the thing in the Invasion, it was cool. I thought it was nice. With Stone Cold defecting, that that was the big part, was you was going to have somebody big defect, and Stone Cold defecting was good. But I remember the first time they defended the WCW Championship on Raw, Buff Bagwell and Booker T fought for it, and I know that they said they got rid of Buff Bagwell because of his attitude and stuff in the back. Man, wouldn't it have been awesome if Buff could have been there? I mean, I wanted to see Buff go on. And then, you know, as you've seen it, you're like, well, more WCW stars are going to wind up in WWE. And some of the names did, you know, some of them that you wanted. The NWO came back, or came to the WWE. Freakzilla, Scott Steiner came to WWE. Now, everybody was talking about somebody, I think it was Gemini 686, says, well, you're a Freakzilla fan, and he's not that good a wrestler. I never said he was. I never said Freakzilla was a good wrestler. But I was entertained by him. And he was a heel. So yeah, I liked him. And another thing I want to make about Hulk Hogan was, did you see, this is another thing, I'm going to just go on Hulk Hogan for just a second, Gemini 686, if you're watching this, in all friendliness. WrestleMania 8, to me, once again showed that Hulk Hogan makes himself be bigger than the wrestling world. By the main event should have been Randy Savage versus Ric Flair for the WWE Championship, not Sid Justice versus Hulk Hogan, which didn't even turn out to be half as good. And then Papa Shango and Ultimate Warrior come out, and Ultimate Warrior made his return. Wow, you know. And then they had the WWE title, Randy Savage and Ric Flair, 2 hours before they even had, or yeah, close to 2 hours before they even had the Hulk Hogan match. I figured if that was just pitiful. They should have put that match last. So Hulk Hogan outshines the WWE Championship. So he's got to be the last thing on the show every time. But anyway, off that, back to the Invasion. I'll discuss that later. So that's what I'm talking about Hulk Hogan though, man. He's just soaking up that spotlight. Not letting nobody else breathe any of it. But anyway, the Invasion spots were good, and I enjoyed them. And I think that they could have done a lot better job. But you gotta look at it, they was limited. But the WWE creative team right now pretty much sucks, man. They just, or Raw creative team, whatever, they just pretty much suck. They're not coming up with nothing good on Raw. It's just the same stuff, and they need to do it again. They need to do stuff better. But the Raw, I mean the ECW, WCW Invasion of WWE was good. I enjoyed it. And I had that DVD Survivor Series 2001, but you know, I can't find it nowhere. And if I could find that thing, I was looking on trying to buy Judgment Day 2002. If you don't remember that one, that was where Kurt Angle and Edge had a hair versus hair match. It was awesome. Give me your thoughts. Remember to comment and tell me what you think about the Invasion angle and the Hulk Hogan thing and Gemini. I hope you got that, you know. And I just want to give RH Styles 23 another shout out for thank him for giving me a plug. Assault and Battery 777, I want to give him a thanks for giving me a plug and getting me some subscribers. And also Legend Killer 410. He gave me some subscribers. Matt Beast 1419 gave me some subscribers. You know, that all these guys, and if I left anybody out, I'm sorry. I want to thank everybody that ever gave me a plug on their show. And if I hadn't seen it, I'm sorry. But you know, just leave a comment and tell me what you think about my videos and everything. And everything. But I want to give you this before I go. A pay-per-view from 2001 that was real good. Backlash was awesome. That's a cool cover too with Triple H on it. Shane McMahon jumped off the top on the Big Show in the last minute stand match. That was good. But anyway, this is the Chosen One, baby, and we are out.